Guys, welcome back to another Slightly Rednecked video. Again, my name's Chris. If you're not familiar with this channel, I do help you to produce your own meat, eggs, and vegetables from your backyard, your balcony, your deck, your garage, or heck, even a spare room in your house if that's the way you want to do it. And it looks like I finally got some new rabbits coming, hopefully anyway. I've got somebody locally that's got some New Zealand white does, supposed to be purebred, about a year old. He's got them for sale, so I'm going to go check them out probably this evening. But just in case I do decide to buy those rabbits, bring them home, I need to get the hutch kind of fixed up a little bit here. The tarp that I use for my dropping catcher is shot. I need to replace it. So that means I got to take these cages out of here. I got to do a little bit of work. So I got to get that done before I go look at new rabbits. So I thought I'd just bring you guys along, maybe give a chance to kind of show you how I got everything set up here. I get lots of questions about how the rabbit shed itself set up. So let me get to it because I just want to get it done right now. So. Come on, get off there. All right, first things first, you gotta get these cages out of here. This is pretty easy to do, honestly. They hang on hooks in the back, and they're just held up by wires right here in the front. So I just gotta undo the wire here, and then I should be able to, let me get them both undone first real quick. And the hook really holds the majority of it. The wire in the front just kind of keeps it from sagging in the front, bouncing around too much, just keeps it a little bit more stable. So, once that wire is undone, I should be able to just lift it off these hooks back here. All right, so looking inside my rabbit hutch here, or my shed, I guess, this is a pretty good opportunity to show you. I've just got these U-hooks in here, and that's what holds, the cage just slips through and holds on the back of that. These are where my tarps were hung up, these screws right here, so I'm gonna take those out, get this tarp out of here, and then we'll work on getting it, the new one, put back in place. Pretty easy though. It's a good opportunity for me to get some of this junk out of here. I don't know why. You know, I tend to keep this kind of stuff, an old piece of cage wire that was the bottom of a cage at one time and just kind of destroyed itself, but it's trash. I don't need that anymore. And that's about it. So I'm gonna get to work on this and see how much I can get done. This is kind of hard to show on film for some reason. Can't get the camera back far enough to get it all in camera, and can't get it close enough to, you know, where it really gives you perspective, but that's okay. We'll figure this out. So what I've done here is I've just kind of hung it up just kind of temporarily. There's a couple of screws here that it's just kind of hooked on in the eyelets, up a little bit high on this end, and then the plan is to run it down the side here at a little bit of a slope so the urine and stuff drains off into this bucket down here. And then the front will be hooked to the cages themselves to hold it up. So I've got to go ahead and get the back in, hang the cages back up, and then I'll hook the front of the tarp up, if that kind of makes sense. So find my drill, there we go, and All right, I think that pretty much gets it. I don't think I'm going to need to tie it up here to the front at all. If I do, I'll just tie it onto the cage right here with some wire just to hold it in place, but I don't think I'll need to do that. I've got this tarp a little bit high over here, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think that's going to be just fine. And it's got a nice slope to it, so everything should run pretty well. Now the droppings won't run. I'll have to, what I use for them is a, what is this? I think this was a handle off the wheelbarrow. And whenever they start piling up, I just kind of work it under the tarps like this to push all the stuff down into the bucket at the end there. But this is pretty much it. Let me bring you in close here and show you my hay feeder setup. I had some people ask some questions about that recently. I'll show you. This is a good opportunity to show you kind of how it's set up. I'm not sure how well this is showing up on camera because it's wire and it's hard to see, but basically it's just a piece of cage wire. I kind of cut it at an angle so it sits kind of at an angle like this away from the cage. You can stuff your hay down in here. It's just J-clipped on right there at the bottom and right there on the sides, and then the feeder goes in right here, right underneath it. So any kind of hay that they go to pulling out of there drops into the feeder, and then they eat it later instead of it going to waste. And so far this has worked out very, very well for me. So all right, so cage is all put back up, the dropping system's all ready to go. This cage right here is empty for right now. I'm gonna have to take it down, and there's some J-clips have come out of the floor, so I gotta do a little bit of repair work on it, but I'm gonna worry about that later. It's just a grow out pin. It'll be a while before I need it. People often ask me why I have my roof so high on my rabbit shed. The main reason is just so I can set things up there, water bowls and things like that, just set them on top of the cages, not have to worry about shoving them underneath. Whenever I'm out here working with the rabbits, if I need to do something, I can just set it right on top of the cage. And it works out pretty well for me. So anyway, hopefully the rabbits check out tonight. I come home with some new bunnies, get to breeding rabbits here pretty quick. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And as always, God bless.